Okay. All right. This build took me maybe 4 months. The first bought the case was $60. Um, and then the motherboard under 230, MSI Pro, the power supply 600 watts, Kleintech GPU, Maxon AMD Radeon 6 RX 4 GB, 560, 550, 16 gigabyte RAM, 5 fans, 1 TB SSD hard drive. What I can say was there is place for an upgrade in the future. The second stage was a little hard because I watched how to build it on J2Sense. During that time, I helped during the build. For the first boot on June 10th, and before I set up the fans connections, that it was a little tricky because I managed to get it after I had installed the MSI software. Before AMD, it seemed not too hard, and I had to use the previous hard drive already in Windows 11 because it had a BitLocker on it. The hard drive, it made a little tricky. Took a week or two to change the BitLocker key. So by now there's no problem with the hard drive from an old Dell desktop computer. It it had used for it for RAM. I would probably changing the higher RAM, probably 32 gigabytes. I found next year. So yeah, in theory. Well, yeah, the script is a bit bad, but I'm gonna say, yeah. So that's just it basically as the amount. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, uh, so yeah, um, and yeah. So um, as I can say for that, second stage to this CPU build, um, the second phase of the build, I'm going through the stage of the build. Yeah. So the script of the build that's during the first stage of the script. So yeah, and basically, so I had no problems up to date with the computer, because, but I had a couple of minor faults, which I haven't seen it that much, uh, of minor problems with it. Um, like I can say, um, since the time that I bought the minor components. So yeah, in basic sense, um, so since I started building it, it wasn't that bad in theory. Basic assembly, um, the the build I think itself was sometime in the beginning of March, I think, March or April, and that much, and took a couple of months, and basically, I had to wait for a couple of components. Most of the components were ordered on Amazon, and basically, most of the components like the fans and the processor as well as the GPU were bought on Amazon, and we're not bad for components, and the, the seem to operate properly. So that, yeah. And so far, I've on that component, I've on my on my order list as well for this new computer. I also have two Oricos that I have and five bays each that I'll be using to upgrade my hard drives that I have, and just and basically that. So yeah, and I'm not gonna try to make it as long as this. And so far as that, yeah, I'm not a very big person that really plays games that much. So I'm that person that does play games, but that doesn't play. I am a gamer, so I'm not that big of a game. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to see how long I can do it. So yeah, so yeah, today I have a certain limit. So yeah, so so I'm gonna try to see how long it is, how long I can get in it. So yeah, so so that much. So yeah, so yeah, and so far so far, and so far it's looking pretty good on my script. So far, one of my newer purchases that I bought is I bought myself a power microphone that I bought I think sometime this year. I've had one, and uh, yeah, that's one of those things. And so yeah, so 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 yeah. So far, so far I've had some minor. I haven't had any big problems with the computer, and I've had probably two. I've ordered two hard drives up to date, and one of them was coming directly from the states, and so they're pretty good. I mean, pretty well expensive hard drives. So everything they deal with, but I have some more coming that I'm gonna order throughout this year. It was just gonna help with my career. So yeah, and yeah, it's not a part of my video, but it's gonna help with my YouTube, and yeah, so yeah. Well, one of those things that the BitLocker I had problem with it was trying to unlock the BitLocker, and well, that was part of that. So yeah, so yeah, that was a bit of a problem. So it was a bit of a tricky thing back in June on the fact that I don't want to say that too much. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to cut it down a little bit. So yeah, So yeah,